What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers Programming 101. When we left off in the last episode, you can see down here we had made our multi-screen functionality available, which is pretty cool, and we also added the ability to basically restart the OS if we changed anything. Oh, wow. That's not good. Alright. Well, that's something else we need to change. Okay, so restarting is not completely fixed. Though I think we fixed... Nope, we did not fix the whole... Well, it's because of the restart functionality. Restart is screwing it up, I think. So we gotta fix the restart function so it does not, in fact, duplicate the code, that it just runs the code. So that's something we need to fix. One thing, though, that I would like to fix, I thought about doing a couple things. My next few projects on the OS are going to be probably in this order. Sorting of the inventory screens. And what I mean by that is that when we go into inventory summary and we hit individual or whatever, these, it's like missile girder, small steel tube, metal grit, like they're all out of order, and I would like to alphabetize them, essentially. Kind of the same thing with this, is I'd like to alphabetize it and set it all up. Let's see. Yeah. The other thing I'd like to add is at some point actually getting into truly sorting the inventory. And what I mean by that is search for a container named resources or materials and search for one that says components and like move all the stuff there, kind of thing. Move stuff around, actually moving it to a container and stuff, which I actually don't think will be as hard as it sounds. The one big problem is I don't know that I'll be able to take into account modded materials and stuff. That's kind of one of those, if you're using mods, I'm doing a disclaimer that it very well could break the operating system. Just because there's so many mods out there, I can't take them all into account, like the magnetrons and blah 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 blah. No way you can take all that into account for like various different mod packs and things like that. So I suppose if it was really heavily requested, I could go in and add really popular specific ones such as Azimuth or you know, some of those ones that like everyone seems to use a lot of, and if it had different survival components and things that you'd have to use to make it, then I might actually look into doing that. But otherwise, it's just not feasible for me to like have to write everything out in an if statement of if it's this from this mod, then move that because that's what where that's supposed to go. You know, all that would be kind of ridiculous. So, first thing eventually that I'm going to get to is sorting it on the screens, like alphabetizing the information. Then actually having a function where you can hit, like, click, like, what I'm thinking is altering these codes to where it just sorts it before it displays it, but then actually adding a new option to the inventory summary menu where it says sort inventory, and it'll just and move everything around where you want it to go. Refinery, I have, again, it would only be able to do vanilla components, right? But I don't know if it's possible. I don't even know if it's feasible, but I would like to try and set up, well, not so much the refinery. The refinery is going to be just, you know, search the resource component container once we have the sort system in play, and then it's like a raw material container. Find anything in there, move it to the refinery until it can't hold anymore, and then do its refinery stuff, and then do it again. You know, stuff like that. So there should be an option under refinery status to like refine materials or something, and it'll just and do it. And of course, we can set up a prioritizing, like what you would need more of and all that kind of crap. The other thing that I would like to set up is with the assembler. I don't know if it's doable, but I'd like to try, is possibly a way to where you can... I would only be able to program in the default components, but it would be interesting to go in and say I need 3 construction components, and then walk around your ship and then come back to the assembler or a terminal point and go, hey, there's 3 construction components in my component container where all the parts are, you know, stuff like that. I think I can do it with default objects, but I don't know if I'd be able to do... What I don't know is if I can actually tell it to start assembling. That's the one thing I don't know if the assemblers are capable of through the programmable block, is make it. I could, if nothing else, move all the necessary components into place. I just don't know if I could actually have, like, it go, like, assemble kind of thing. Starting an assembly queue, like where you click on what you want, I don't know if I can simulate that or not. What I might be able to do, though, is have everything moved to that thing so you know everything is in there, or, hey, I don't have enough of this material, whatever. But for now, so those are some things that I have planned. If you have suggestions on ways to simplify it, or if you're into code and you're like, hey, you could try this method, this will simplify it, blah, 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 do let me know. Or if you think it's a good idea, blah, 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 I'd like to hear your thoughts and feedback. For this episode, though, I want to, because we're moved into 1.5 version instead of just the flat version 1, I feel like it should be functioning on all cylinders, and there's one aspect that's not quite up to snuff. This, jump drive status. Not happy with it. Because it's just, I didn't know what to do with it, so it's just kind of blah. It's just kind of there. And I'm not happy about that. So what I'm going to do... Man, this thing is big on a large ship. Holy crap. Which, is it even able to go on a small ship now? For those of you that may not be aware, it's not. Dagnabbit. In my last episode of the Survival Space Engineers, well, I shouldn't say survival. My standard Let's Play is probably more accurate because it's more of a Let's Build at the moment. They completely jacked me up, basically, by updating and balancing, quote-unquote, the game. And so now it's a bunch of, you know, it's a bunch of crap, basically, that it's like, doors aren't available. I'm building a small ship, and doors aren't available in small ships, and this isn't available in small ships, this isn't available, so it's annoying. So I like that they're balancing, but they kind of screwed me in this last time I logged in. I was like, really, guys? So, for the interest of time, I'm going to leave tank as the variable name, but I changed it to jump drive. And we're going to change this to jump drive, because I'd like to get a feel for what I'm able to do with it, kind of thing. Actually, everything else should be fine. Let's see if it works. Oops. Object reference not set to an instance of the object. Okay. Let's copy that. I don't know. Nope, ownership doesn't seem to be the problem because the tank worked fine. Is it the name? I wonder if it's the jump drive variable. Get block with name. Oh, I just realized I don't have my cursor toggled on. Sorry about that. My bad. I'm over here like scrolling and looking at this stuff and everything and didn't realize that nobody can even see what I'm doing. That's my bad. we don't need the hash code stuff. That might actually be what was doing it, was the stockpile property. And it was going, hey, what's stockpile property? It's a jump drive. Yep, looks like that's what it was. Alright, let me turn this on real quick so you guys can see what's going on. Okay, toggle block on and off, makes sense. Recharge on and off. Increase or decrease jump distance. And then the properties on. Okay, so pretty much what we could do is have the status. Oh, you know what? I should have it display as detailed info so I can see what we're gonna get with that. Let's do panel write public text. We'll do a couple of new lines just to give us some space. Maybe just one would be enough. Close that. And then we'll do tank just because we were using the tank variable because it was already there. ToString. That should be good. Then we just need to add another new line there. We'll call this true, and there. That should give us the detailed info after all the actions. There we go. Alright. So, we've got all of these, which are all actions that we can take. Increase jump distance, decrease jump distance, that'll be interesting to work with. Let's see. Jump drive. So here's our detailed info panel. Truth be told, we could probably just display all of this. I don't really think that we really need to mess too much with conversions and blah 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 blah. We can just display all of it. That should be fine, I think. I think we did that with the reactors too. It was like just display the reactors kind of thing. So we want to first do the name. We don't need the type. So we can cut that first line out. Maybe. And I think I have a way to do that. We'll just use a type index of max should be the first thing. So the first time it finds that index, it'll just display from there. So we can do name and then display the info. Then I'd like to do a couple of spaces and have a section for the increase, decrease, jump distance, stuff like that. We might actually have two of these. We might have a status and then functions, maybe. Let's try that. That might work better. What do we have right now? Jump drive status. I might just put under that, below full or above full power. I'll have jump drive status and then jump drive functions, maybe, and then we'll work with it that way. So let me switch over to Visual Studios, and we will get working on all that stuff. Okay, so we're over here in Visual Studios now. We have our jump drives list, which is all well and good. Oh, that's the only thing. We're going to have to do a nested list so that we can do multiple jump drives, just in case you have more than one jump drive, because I've heard that that's more common. I personally haven't used a lot of jump drives. I haven't done much with them. So first thing, this is actually good. I probably should do more of this in my code anyways, is like no jump drives found, whatever. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the actions, or we're going to make an actions list, that's right. We'll do Oh wait, no, I don't need this because this is going to be more of a functionality. So we're going to loop through the drives. This is the status one. Let me go ahead and do another one here. Jump drive functions. And we'll pass in, I forgot we're passing in the text panels now. Alright. So the first thing we want to do, this is fine, is jump drives display the info, the custom name plus info. We'll put a colon there just because we can. We'll do a new line, jump drive, and I'm going to change this to detailed info.substring. And we'll do a start index of jump drives I detailed info dot index of can I do a string? Let's try this and see if it max. And then let's see if we can just close it. We can. Okay, cool. Why are you throwing a flag? Oh, because I haven't closed out the substring. There we go. So what this is going to be doing is it's going to display the information, but instead of having type jump drive at the top, it's going to start at the index of the first time you read max, which is the next line. And then it'll just go from there because I didn't specify an end point, theoretically. Then, actually, we can finish this off by a new line would bring it down one line, and then one more would give it a space, I believe. So we're going to do that. That should be all we need to do for the status. Because the status is just going to display all the available jump drives and their information. Now, recently we started the ability to pick and choose different O2 vents and things. Third layer methods. Here we go. I'm going to have to look at these because these actually kind of seem to... Oh, tank IDs. That's what I need. I need jump drive IDs. Alright. Let's see. Did I have the... Yeah, it's all under this. Okay, so INT jump drive or... Let's do jump ID. Alright, so... And I don't have plans to, mostly because it's way outside my area of expertise, but I'm not planning. If there's enough demand for it, I will try. But I'm not planning on incorporating any kind of like GPS coordinate system into this where you can go, hey, I want this jump drive to target this and then jump at this. Yeah, I'm not planning on doing all of that. If everyone really, really, really wants it or something, like, hey, I haven't had a really good script that can do this or something, I might try my hand at it, but I know no promises on that. So, jump drive functions is going to have to be a third layer thing because we've got power status, jump drive functions, and then the individual things. With that in mind, let's do some commenting here. Say jump drive, or wait, this is technically power. Well, no, because jump drive functions is going to be right next to statuses. Okay. so how did I set this up again to where you can click on... Oh, I set it up in the update selection method instead of having a separate function. Okay. Okay. Inventory display. Okay, that's for separate screens. We're only going to work with main and update selection. Okay, so inventory submenus. I need power submenus. That's where the jump drive one should be. So we're going to jump drives. Got it. Here we go. So I need to add another one called jump drive functions. Oops. Break. And then we'll do if, or actually let me just copy all of this because this already has our input set up. Wait, no. I need yeah, this is the one I need. I need one that's actually got the selection, not the scrolling system. So, here we go. Alright, so in this part, what I need to do... Status is fine because we're just going to scroll through that. Selected menu item equals jump drive. Jump drives? Count? Will that work? Jump drives does not exist. What's my list name? Ah, no capital. Got it. Wait, where am I? Here. Oh, there I am. Ah, success. Alright, so we're going to copy and paste that. That's lets us scroll through. Select jump drives. So we have a bit of an issue here because this was just to toggle them on and off. Where's my vent control code? Because the vents we actually had set up to pick and choose. Ah, here we go. Current menu equals individual vent controls, select a menu item. Alright, so let's duplicate this. Actually, let's just copy this whole thing, because this will make things easier on me, since it's more accurate. And bam! Alright, now again we're going to have to change this to the jump drives list instead of the O2 vents. We'll do individual jump drive controls, and we'll do jump ID equals selected menu item, and then go back to power. Okay, that seems to work well. That's all fine and dandy. Let's see, what else do we need to do? Is there anything else we need to do in update selection? Ah, yes, here we go. So let's go ahead and copy this. Actually, we'll copy the comments too. And I'm trying to keep everything in a cascading system. So for example, this is the oxygen third layer. This will be power third layer menus, because power comes before the oxygen in the main list. So stuff like that. I'm just trying to kind of keep everything set up. Jump drive controls. And I tell you what I'm going to do. From here down to here, I am going to where's the system for that? Hide selection, and that will collapse it down into a little comment thing so that I can just go back and forth between these two. Very useful tool. I don't know, we had O2 individual tank controls. I'm wondering if for syntax, if I should have power individual jump drives, like that's the submenu. I'm not going to worry about it. It's all done behind the screen anyway. Okay, select menu item. If it's greater than 0, it's equal to 0. Down. Oh. I hard-coded how many options we'd have. Okay, so we want on-off, or toggling on-off. That's 0. We want recharge toggle, increase jump distance, decrease jump distance. So that's a total of 4. So the top part should be 3. We should have a total of 4 options with indexes of 3 as the last option. 0, 1, 2, 3. All right. And I might do another switch here. Wait a minute, did it? Hold on. I just noticed this. This version of the code still has that stupid error in there with the semicolon. I thought I changed that. I guess I didn't save when I copied it over to the other thing. Alright, whatever. So, jump drives at jump ID. Let's go ahead and copy that, and then we're just going to paste that in here. On-off is fine. Recharge is the other one. We have a problem with this if sequence, though. I'll just do an else if. I don't know which is technically easier on the processor type setup or not. We'll do 1, copy that, paste that. Actually, what am I doing? Let's just copy this whole frickin' thing, and then I can just paste it all in. Okay, so that's 2 and 3. So we have, I don't remember what the actual thing was. I think it's increase jump distance. We're going to go with this, but I don't know if that's the actual action or not. I hope it is. And then decrease jump distance. I hope. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but I don't really know for sure. And then we want to go to jump drive functions if we go back. Okay, that should, theoretically, that should handle everything. Here's an idea. Let me try jump ID. It doesn't show me all the actions, does it? Dang it! I was hoping it would. Nor do I have a list populated. Oh well. I was hoping it would just show me even though I can't access them, but whatever. Alright, so I think that's all the groundwork we need to lay for update selection. I hope. This function is getting really, really long. I wish I knew of a better way to condense it all, but it just kind of seems like no matter how I'm going to do it, it's always going to end up being really long because it's always in basically the state. You know, like this is basically a state machine that we've built, and so there's really no way around that, I don't think. Alright, we've got, where's jump drive status. Let's copy this in here. Now for this, we're going to need jump drive functions. Now, the only thing here is the method for jump drive functions doesn't really do anything. now that I'm thinking about it. This pretty much is all it's gonna do. Okay, so when it hits the jump drive functions state, it's gonna look through well, I shouldn't say it doesn't do anything. Let me collapse this down too. That way it's easier to get to. Control MH, that's going to be my new best friend. Oh, and while we're in here, before we tab back over, I need to go to the, I need to go to the restart function and change that, because that's not working properly either. And we also want to duplicate this up here. And we'll call this power third layer menus, individual jump drive. I guess I'll cap that. Jump drive controls. Individual jump drive controls. And one more time. Okay. Now, what I've got to figure out here is basically what I need to display. Because individual okay, so there's our three functions we need to work with. So this one displays, it lists all the information. So this one I really just need to loop through and list the individual drives, basically. Okay, so let's do this. Let's copy this info, and we're going to use that to list everything. Where did it go? Jump drive. There we are. So instead of calling this, I'm going to paste this in, and we'll see where we can go from here. So we're going to do jump drives dot count. It's going to loop through the count. And pretty much the same thing, really. I mean, it's just the names, and if it's selected, then it's going to highlight it. So yeah, that's pretty much all we needed to do for that one. And the individual ones we'll have to do some work on, so that's fine. I think we're done with the displays, and I think we're done with the update selection. Oh, where is the restart? I need to look at what's going on with that before we move too much further. The oxygen menu. Where did I put the restart menu? Did I make that its own function? Maybe I did. Setup main menu. Restart OS. It's possible that I just put that in the main display. Wait a minute, where did that go? I can't find any code for the restart function. Setup main, which we did. Setup blocks. This is going to drive me nuts. I know I put a restart option in here somewhere. It's not there. It's not there. It should be right after oxygen. Alright, we're going to have to search this document. Let's do restart. Well, actually, what does it even do lowercase? Restart OS. Oh, you're kidding. Hold on. It's doing stuff, though. So let's collapse. And then, can I uncollapse? No. Oh, I know one way to do it. If I can get this out. Ah! Go away. Because sometimes it does it when I will do this for pasting it in. When you shift tab or tab, it seems to... Whoa, no, no, no. Whew! Ooh. I had everything selected and hit a letter and it just completely uncompressed everything, or erased everything. Ugh. Don't scare me like that. Restart. Oh, you're serious? How is it doing anything, though? If it's just an option on the menu, how is it actually... I think I might have coded it in-game and just forgot to do anything with it on the actual, in the actual code, or, Visual Studios. I think I might have accidentally done that. Oh, wait, here we go. Update selection. Yes, here it is. So, if current menu... If selected menu item equals 4... Oh, I didn't assign it current menu. Okay. We'll do current menu equals restart OS, even though it probably won't do anything. And why I say it won't do anything is because we have no conditions for restart OS. So once it goes through all this, it's going to keep moving through the case, and it's just not going to find anything. So it shouldn't be a problem. First run equals true is fine. What I need to do, though, is I need to loop, first of all, 0 I is less than displays.count. So we need to clear out our displays. And to do that, I might actually, for compactness, leave this inline actually. So I need to do displays at I dot write public text blank and false, so it doesn't append. And from here we need to do I show public text on screen, and I update visual. So for those of you that may not be too familiar with programming, what I just did there is the same thing as doing it this way. So this is easier to read on us, but because I'm trying to keep the line compact, the computer sees this as the exact same thing, because our semicolons break the line, our brackets hold where the for loop starts and stops. So for things that are kind of simple and you're not going to be messing with them too much, that's one of the easiest ways to do it. And now I also need to do main display. Now this one, I don't actually know if you can do it that way without being in a loop or not. We can try it. main display, show public text on screen, and update visual. Alright, so you can actually do it inline. So this just keeps it, it's not as easy to read, but it'll keep the line count down a little bit, since we're not really needing to mess with it. So what this is doing is it sets it to current, to restart OS. Actually, I should set it to main. Let's do that. So current menu is equal to main. And what it's going to do is loop through, clear all the screens, clear the main screen, and then set first run to true. So when it gets to this line, it's not going to look at this one or anything below here because this is main. So it's got to the end of main. Now it's going to loop back up, and then when it gets to the start loop, the main loop here, it's going to see first run is equal to true. It's going to do startup, which is going to set everything up and clear all this stuff, yada 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 yada. But we'll have already cleared all of the blocks, or all of the screens. That was the part where we're getting all that repetitious, you know, like everything showing up all the time. Okay, so this is not necessary because we did all of that in just the update function type of thing, or the right display, where it's just going to show you what you're picking. The individual one is where we're going to have a bit of work to do. And right from here, I want to copy this and put this right here. And we'll do power. Actually, let's move this. I didn't realize what we were working with here. So I want to put this. I want to put this around the third layer methods, but I want it to be under all of our other methods. So we have display methods, inventory methods, refinery, power, oxygen, boom, power third layer, O2 third layer, etc., etc., etc. That'll keep things a little bit easier to work with. So, all right, let's go ahead and duplicate this and then work with what we need and see what we can get from there. And again, I'm not 100% confident that the increase-decrease of the distance will work, but that remains to be seen. We're also going to have to do some action applying here. Well, no, that'll have to be an update selection, actually, so I've got to work with that a little bit more. Where is update, then? I thought I was done with that, but I guess I'm not. Let's get down here to our third layer stuff, and we'll condense all of this. Okay, and same thing here. There we go. So this way we can just tab up here. Oh, I guess I did have the actions already. That's all I really need, isn't it? I didn't really think about that. Okay, so I guess I don't need to work with it too much. So I really just need to highlight what's selected. Oh, well, I'll be darned. Alright. That simplifies things a bit. Jump drives, jump ID. Let's go through and fill out all of that. Okay, now we will have to work with some of this stuff a little bit. Recharge status, recharging, recharge status, using is fine. We're going to have to change our conditions though. Let's look for charged in, maybe? See if that works. The on-off will be fine because that's just going to check the is working. We're also going to need to add a couple more menus here. So string temp string 3 equals We can actually do this one. Oh, and we're gonna need some spacing here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we'll copy this because we need a fourth one. And from here we're gonna say, well, ooh. This is gonna be tricky. Okay, I have an idea, but I don't know if it'll work very well. But I'm gonna play around and get a little, see if I can get a little fancy here. So what I'm gonna do is say current jump distance plus jump drives at jump ID. Nope. ID. It's in the detailed info. Dang it. All right. Detailed info substring. Jump drives. Jump ID. Detailed info dot index of. Man, I don't even know what I'm looking for. I can't remember what the actual detailed info panel was using. Jump distance, maybe? Start index. Alright, so if it finds this, dang, this is complicated. Alright, tell you what I'm going to do. Before I do that, let's cut that out. I'm actually going to do integer and say distance index equals, and paste this in. So this should give us the index of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 with a colon, 15 with a space. So what I'm going to do is say substring starting index of distance index plus 15. Theoretically, not 100% confident about this, but theoretically, this should just have the distance right after this colon. Theoretically. I could also make this a little more simplistic and just pull the jump distance, but then we have to do a specific... Oh, I'm going to have to do a specific number too. That sucks. Is there an endpoint? Length. Okay. This is tricky. Working with strings can be tricky for me. Anyway, I don't know about everybody else, but for me they can be a little finicky. I don't want to go through the whole process of splitting the detailed info page to find the array and blah 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 blah. I would really like to... what's the other... This is an overload. The number of characters in the... Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. Let's do... Let's say 5 for now. Because I'm thinking you'll probably have like 2 letters and then like a character like meters or something like that. But if you have letters, numbers, you know, say it's really far or something. So until I find it, this is just temporary. We're going to test this out and see what ends up happening, but I'll figure out mathematically a better way to identify just the detailed info panel. But I can't think of anything else offhand, so I don't really want to mess around with it and waste a lot of time. There is a better way to do this. What you would do is calculate basically the index starting here, but then to a new line character is the easiest way to do it. I just can't think of the system that I'd want to actually do it with right now. So what's tricky here, the tricky part here is that what I'm thinking about trying to do is appending two different things to this one string. So let me see if I can make this relatively clear. So this is if selected menu item equals 0, which is power status, we want to turn it on or off. We have it selected and the new line goes to 2, which is charging, which we have set up here, and 2 is unselected. Okay. We're going to skip 3, this string 3, not the index. And the reason why is because we don't want to actually highlight current jump distance. We want to highlight what's coming in temp string 4. So then we'll just have this as display 3. And since displayed menu item is equal 0, we know it's selected on power, so we'll just display 4. Actually, I take that back. We'll fix 4 in a second. Well, I might not be able to do what I was wanting to do. Oh yeah, I could. Hold on. We'll do increase jump distance. And then we will copy this and do decrease. Now, some of you might be confused on what I'm trying to do here. What I was thinking about doing is having it end up looking like you have your power status, you have your recharge status, you have the current jump distance, and then what I wanted to do is underneath that have an option for increase, and then on the same line do a decrease option is what I was thinking. I may not do that. It might be overcomplicating things. I don't know. And for the sake of this video not getting ridiculously long and convoluted and having to work on a bunch of crap, I will probably just do new lines and be done with it. But I thought about having them in the same line just to make it look a little bit cooler. But for now, this will be fine. So what we're going to do is copy this, paste this in here. Actually, this should be up here now that I'm thinking about it, because that's dealing with string 2. That was kind of confusing me a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this, so that's 0, 1, 2, and 3 were the number of options we have, keeping in mind that we're not selecting string 3 ever. So this one would be temp string 2 is selected. This one would be temp string 4, and this one would be 5. And then we just need to get rid of these. Alright. And, oh, that would be a bad thing. We need to change the index numbers. There we go. So theoretically, that should be our function as well, and we should be ready to copy this over and check it out in Space Engineers. And I think we're going to wrap this episode up one way or another just because it's getting really long. Alrighty, so we're back over here. I've gone ahead and pasted it into the system. So we should be able to just go right from here and start tinkering with things. We're still getting duplication on our alternate screens, which I don't honestly know why. I thought we had taken care of all that, unless, you know what, I probably made the change in here and then never went back and did it in Visual Studios, so it probably overwrote it again in here. Let me check that real quick before we get too far into all this. This is still... okay, here we go. Right, main menu, I'm not worried about that. Inventory. Before we do all of this, we'll do displays at I dot write public text false. That should fix the problem with each one of the menus. Theoretically. Everything is theoretical when I'm doing my programming stuff because I never know if it's actually going to work. I also did not add a case for the function, but since it's a second screen, I'm not super worried about it at the moment. It's kind of something I'll have to fix later. Alright. What do you mean I doesn't exist? What is this? Greater than... oh, I'm putting them in the wrong spot. That's why. Wait a minute. What just happened? Oops. I'm very confused right now. My screen's like popping all over the place. I think I hit Control Z instead of Control X. Alright, so I should probably put... here it is. Once I've identified it as what I need, that's where it needs to go. Alright. That should fix the problem. Wait a minute. I've got inventory, refinery, power needs to be fixed. Right? Okay, I think all that's good. Power and oxygen. There we go. Sweet. No problems. So now... good. No problems. If we hit restart, it's still duplicating again. Dagnabbit! I thought I set it to clear everything. That's really bugging me because it shouldn't be doing what it's doing. You know what it's probably doing? Let's duplicate our clear code here. And I'm just copying all the way down to here so that I can get all this crap that's over here. That's hard for the in-game editor to do. And under the first run, when it's setting up all this stuff, but it's not actually writing to anything yet, let's say... Let's try this one out. If current menu equals restart OS, once again we can put this just in new lines, I think. Shouldn't be a problem. Alright. Dang it! I don't know what it's doing that for. I really feel like I've taken every precaution to stop it from duplicating, but it just keeps duplicating. It's not clearing the screens for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, let's check our jump drive, see if we're more squared away with that. Jump drive information is fine. The rest of the stuff is not tabbed over, but that's okay. I also did not remember to add an actual menu item in the setup jump drives function. Or wait, no, is it setup power? Where's setup power? Setup displays, refineries, main menu, power menu. I did not remember to add an option for jump drive functions. So that was great. And like I said, I still don't really know why Restart OS keeps overwriting, like not clearing, even though I clearly told it to clear it. Just doesn't want to do it. Alright, so that's fine. Functions. Block power whoa, 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 whoa. What the heck? Why are you showing me the inventory? So, if you guys hadn't figured it out already, I made a gigantic boo-boo. In... where is it? Jump drive functions. Where'd you go? There you are. Now wait a minute. It's supposed to just list the jump drives. Why? Jump drives not count? Wait a minute. Maybe I didn't make as much of a boo-boo as I thought. Was it in setup jump drives, maybe? That's probably what it is. Contains jump, add blocks. Wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. Unless I changed up the title. I have the title wrong. Jump drives? I don't get this one at all. It's like it's displaying the inventory items or the full power block or something along with it. That's really weird. Huh. Alright, let's try this one more time. I gotta get a better feel for what it's actually doing. That is funky! You know what it is? It's pulling the full power one. Okay. 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 So, what's happening is somewhere in the indexes of the start power grid, power options. Where's my power options? I've added one here, but it's still pulling this one. For some reason, inventory. Oh, wait, I think I might know what it is. Power. Yep. That's what it is. I didn't add a new method, or a new case. I'm on to you. Current menu equals... let's just copy this. So I definitely need to make sure that I update my Visual Studios one, because we're making a lot of changes in this that aren't going to show up in that one, and I don't want to erase all of my changes that I've made. Jump drive functions. I wonder if that's the problem I'm having with the restart. Oxygen restart. Oh, that might be the problem. Actually, let's try that, so that it actually has a Restart OS menu. Let's see if that one works. Okay, I don't know what that did. That did not work right. Man, this one is really causing a problem. Oh, I know. We'll do that, we'll do that. And then, after clearing all of this, let's bring this back in. Bring this one back in. And actually, yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Current menu equals main. That may be the problem we're having with this. I don't know for sure, though. Only assignment call increment. What? Oh, pfft. I was comparing it, not assigning it. My bad. Alright, one more time. And I get a blank screen and then a double screen. I don't know what the heck is wrong with this thing. Somewhere, somehow, it is not clearing the displays properly. I don't know. I'll have to look into that more. Back to the jump drives. Okay, then. Oh, wait a minute. I know what the problem is with that. Jump drive functions. Jump drives dot custom name dot toString. That's a little bit vital if you actually want it to look like it's supposed to. Bam! Unfortunately, I can't select it though. Gosh. I really thought I had this better coded, and now I'm just finding a mess of problems. Event controls, that's third layer. I want this one. Alright. Oh. That's probably the problem. Did I have that before on the minus? I did, but I wasn't taking account at only having one. Wait, no. If it's selected, it equals 0. Oh! Count. Select my I equals... If it's less... I don't quite understand that, because it... Oh! Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's... How did I end up back here at Farms? Where is... Here. Wait a minute, what was that? What did I change down here? Wow, I'm just apparently really derpy tonight and wasn't even looking at the right function. Though this looks... What I don't get is even if there's... If jump drive... If count is 1, because there's one jump drive, minus 1 would equal 0. So if it's greater than, which it's not, it won't decrement. So if it's equal to 0, which it should be, it'll equal 0. So it should just be not going anywhere, but it shouldn't keep it from highlighting, which it seems to be doing, which is the part I don't quite understand. If I equals 0, which would be selected menu item. Oh, I is less than jump drives dot. Let's put less than. Well, no, it would be, because there would be 1 in the jump drive count, and it's equal to 0. So I don't get why this isn't being highlighted and just being displayed. That's the part I don't quite get. Tell you what, let's actually click the select button on it and see if it actually does anything. Yeah, no, it's something screwed up. So I basically just completely botched this. And it is not working properly at all, and I can't even do the reset thing properly because apparently that doesn't work either. So, yeah. Ultimately, this was not my most successful episode. And on that note, I'm sorry. If you have ideas on how to fix it, saw something that I didn't, it wouldn't surprise me. It's very late where I am when I'm recording this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. In the meantime, I do hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.